amazing Monday night. Once again, 3D Politics Live. I'm Tom McKay, your amazing host, right here with two of the most amazing Davids in the state of Oklahoma. We're missing Dan Broso, but I've got David Van and David Oldham right here just to get this out of the way. David Van, SoonerPolitics.org. Yes. David Oldham, you're going to find him at constitutionalgrounds.com, and me, of course, Tom E. McKay at Twitter. Hey, we've got a lot of things to talk about tonight. We're going to go as fast as we can and try to wrap it up as quick as we can. One of the national stories we have is Obama talking to what is known now as the cancel culture. Yeah. And so he said something about the idea of purity, and you're never going to be compromised. You're always going to be politically woke and all that stuff. You're going to have to get over that.
Well, I think it was the trying to call everybody else out for every infraction of grammar and pronouns.
This is the cancel culture.
Well, that goes even further to the point where we got destroy their careers. That cancel.
Yeah, well, not only that, but destroy all the iconography of the, of history, destroy history.
Yes.
Wipe it off because as though it never happened, and let's just forget all the lessons we might learn.
You guys remember in the beginning days when we were going to war against the Taliban in Afghanistan, they talked about just how barbaric these people were, and probably the height of their barbarism, if you will, was that they destroyed all of these great statues, the Buddhist,
iconoclasts.
The Buddhist monk, and
carved in the side of the mountain.
Barbaric, uncivilized iconoclasts.
These, great landmarks, and they destroyed them because in their quest for religious purity, we couldn't have that. And I thought we would never do that in America. And what did we do to every Civil War monument now?
Right.
I don't know if there's any of them left. I don't know.
They even wrecked the sound at a recent GOP.
How dare you!
So Obama said, and it's so presidential, he said, quote, like, if I tweet or hashtag about how you didn't do something right or used the wrong verb, he said, then I can sit back and feel pretty good about myself because, man, you see how woke I was? I called you out. And this was Obama's quote to try to tell people, just by sitting at home and tweeting, Tom, that's really not changing anything.
Exactly. I thought it was an excellent deal. Now, this conference was put on by the Obama Foundation, and it was devoted to youth activism. And I thought it was a perfect place to steer the young people and say, hey, there's activism, and then there's just being a jerk.
Yeah, but it's Obama. And so it's not like he's not speaking out the other side of his face, because he's the one who helped start a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, but he said something. Yes. He said something early on. He said, life is messy and it's full of ambiguities, and there are going to be people that you may be in disagreement on, but hey, they love their kids. And you'll find, if you go way back, there's something I've always said about Obama, is that he set a good example as a role model, a father, to his children. In the context.
You're like a mafiosi.
Yeah, I was going to say, who's going to pull David out of this one?
I will stand by it. When it comes to just...
John Gotti loved his son, too.
Right.
I saw the video.
Plead your case, man.
That when it came to raising those kids right, being a dad who's there for his kids, who was there you look back, go back to Chicago, you go back to all the other things he's done. And, when it comes down to it, his parenting skills, nobody seems to have a problem with, and I don't either.
Well, like I said, the problem is Obama himself.
I understand.
Saddam Hussein raised a couple kids. The mafia, they've got kids that they've raised. They love their kids.
To fundamentally change the greatest nation in the world onto a wrong path. There's no way
to raise your children.
And let me quote Bill Bennett on this. He says that when the microphones... I know. I don't mind you ganging up as long as you don't keep cutting me off.
All right.
All right. So that when the microphones weren't on, the big national media press corps wasn't there, Jesse Jackson would go into these churches and he would start talking about living right and keeping your family together. And there was a lot of good things. And Bennett would say, if he would say those things when the National Press Corps is there, Bill Bennett said, I'd vote for him. Because there is a solid message that even our more liberal friends sometimes get right when it comes to parenting. And so this is the point that he brings out. Obama says there's people that, you might not agree with them, but yet there's some things you're going to agree with them on.
Yeah, it's expedient for Obama, though. That's the problem here, because what has happened is they have gone too far. He's just trying to rein them in a little bit to keep a measure of credibility to what they're doing.
Exactly.
It is nothing
His
to do with anything
was
good.
based on a fraud.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's a criminal. He's
criminal.
he's one of the biggest criminals.
How can you defend a criminal, man?
I can defend his parenting skills if his parenting skills deserve defending.
Well, the thing is that
he named her Malia. Can't you sue him for that?
But
I'm not touching that.
Here's the thing. What is your response every time I bring it up? Is you talk about his policies. Policies.
What is he teaching his kids? He's teaching his kids those things. He's teaching them to be just as unconstitutional and criminal as he is.
Okay.
That I have every problem with.
Wow, we have opened up an entirely new can of worms. I'm Tom McKay, your host. This is David Van and David Olden. Go!
Yes. If you're a liberal parent, if you're a socialist advocate, but you still teach your kids how to obey, how to do their work, how to be responsible, how to follow
then you wouldn't be a socialist. Because socialism is to teach your children to steal from others. That is the lesson. Because that is socialism.
Yes.
Okay.
That yours is mine if I want.
I'm desperate to help you find a way to protect a guy I don't like based on his parenting skills.
Okay.
Obama's an amiable guy. He's likable person.
Well,
The point is he is a blight on America.
Okay.
And
he's a fraud. He's fraud.
I don't see any way to get out of here.
Yeah, I don't know how you can suggest that being a total fraud is any way to show be good a parent. I mean, that's not a good parent.
Again, we all have really bad things in our life and really good things, except this guy, of course.
But
my point is the areas where you can come to an agreement.
Yes, that he stayed home and watched TV with his kids and spent time with his kids. That was good and what parents should be doing. I agree with that much of it. But that's as far as it goes.
I do not know what happened to the Braveheart meeting we had before this. You guys are so nice.
But Obama, in his speech, and Tom, I don't know if you have the whole thing here, but early on, he talks about, the people that, are on the other side. He's referring to conservatives. He said they love their kids too.
That's what they said in the racial arguments with LBJ, and somebody came to the living room and was like, you know what, those black people love it. This is absolute sheer racism. It's a play to the middle.
What is racism?
I don't
this idea that they love their children true is a harken back to a racist comment.
I think let's not go there.
I said it.
Let's not go there because what it
that
is,
they love their children too. That is definitely
what it is a divide. There's an obvious divide. Let's acknowledge the divide, and they're trying to bridge the divide. But you have criminal theft by government under color of authority in large part instituted by this man, and he's trying to separate us
The
down on the
problem
other
here's
side.
his
is,
quote.
Van is going out of his way
legit.
to try to say something nice about Obama.
Here's what
And
I'm
we're just
saying.
tearing him down.
I pointed to the one thing here. He said, now this idea of purity, and if you never compromise, you're always politically woke and all that stuff, you should get over that real quickly. And he said, the world is messy. There are ambiguities. He said, people who do really good stuff have flaws. He said, people who you are fighting may love their kids and share certain things with you.
Right.
And this is my point, is that even with some of your biggest enemies in politics, you may have things that you can come together on. And for that, you should always be able, and not totally write them off, because you have to look for your allies.
Fool
Well,
me once, etc. The guy has lied before.
Okay,
This
here's the
idea.
thing.
Okay.
Here's the thing.
I
David
mean-
David has a point, but it's so convoluted to try to get there from this.
Like
Here's
Satan.
Okay,
but
get
here's
there
the-
for me faster than I can.
Here's the problem. There are constitutional issues that are non-negotiable.
Yeah.
Non-negotiable.
Oh.
And those, Obama is, in this speech, trying to meld into the political issues which government can actually deal with. Those are where we have our political fights. But the non-negotiable is what he's trying to get everybody to accept as negotiable, and that is off the table, done, no way, no how. Now, I will try in getting them to come around. I will work with them.
Gotcha.
But it's still non-negotiable.
Is he making sense, Dave?
Yes, and let me elaborate on that point of it coming around. They're not going to come around on all issues all at once. You're going to take them one at a time. The fellow that got in your face at Veterans Park, Frank Grove, he and I have worked on drug policy reform big
He can
time.
be reasonable.
Okay, on
No,
that
he's
issue.
not.
No, stop.
He
Stop.
wasn't.
Stop.
Oh my God!
On one issue, I was able to get something accomplished teaming up with him on an area we agreed on.
Okay.
If we moved the ball forward, we didn't get the touchdown that David wants on it, but again, we're moving the ball forward. Now we're at a point where it doesn't look like we're going to be doing so much together. But again, you look for those opportunities, because 57% is just a little more than 50%. Okay,
This is the incremental versus.
No. The problem is it's like when you're fourth down and 18 and you throw a 3-yard pass.
Oh, flag on the
Okay,
play.
and well, the point is, you got to get 18, and you didn't go for it, and he never would. He was never even willing to try to go for true liberty.
who's he?
Obama.
Grove.
Frank Grove. Okay.
And Obama is just
Obama
an enemy of liberty.
Well,
just an abject enemy.
The area that you're trying to find agreement with Obama, Van, is an area where he's never been consistent. The police were dumb.
No.
etc.
No. That's not what I'm agreeing with him at all.
Okay.
At all.
Fix it.
I'm talking about when you've got an area where you do have share common values by the way you behave in your daily life. And sometimes it's personal life. Sometimes it's family life. And that you've got to look for opportunities. Sometimes it's even when you share a common struggle, like I do on the mental health thing and getting involved with people. I mean, I'm impacting families of all political persuasions, all religious persuasions.
Because we're Americans, we're
The
not.
busted clock is right twice a day.
Yeah, and so I am just saying on a number of things, like what happened a few years ago, we were fighting some taxes at the state capitol, and we had a bunch of Democrats allying with us. They didn't like those taxes either.
Yeah, we did that
locally,
too.
Right, and so you look for your opportunities to build coalitions, and sometimes they're going to come from the most unlikely places.
Stalin.
And
We teamed up with Stalin.
I mean, come on. The point is, though, as soon as that particular issue was gone, they were back to being themselves. The same old. And there was no more working together.
Okay, that's your point. My point is you had an opportunity, even though it was very limited, but you scored on it.
All right. Great job, guys. We know that this is never ending. You got to hold the line, and then you also have to work with your opponents.